Hi everybody, welcome back to Midvale Minis. This is a picture of where we left off in the last video in the garden room box. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about my plans for the rest of the garden room box, and also I want to work on the rose trees and some other roses in the project. So let's get started.
Okay, so here's my idea. So right here, I like the view going into the room box so that when you look through, you can see the rose trees in the back, one on each side of the door. Obviously, I haven't made them yet, but you can see what that looks like there. And then here's my two benches. So you can see they do match each other in structure, but they are not the same color. So I definitely will have to paint those. I have my 4 urns with the flowers. And then down here in the front, this lip goes all the way around in the same dimension here. And I thought, actually it's a little smaller on the sides, but it's basically the same. I thought, what am I gonna do with this? I thought just about putting dirt, and eventually if I decide at some point in the future, I might want to put ivy climbing up the wall on the, on the outside. I'm not sure, but for now, what I was thinking is, what if, because I had so much fun doing the static grass, what if I did static grass on the outside? But right here, see, I have these 2 urns that are the same coloring as the urns in the back. But I didn't want to put them inside the room box because you'd never see them. So I like them out here. What do you think if I were to put stones, like stones here, 2 rows of stones, and then put the static grass all the way around each side of the room box? In between the stones, I also add static grass. What do you think about that? Leave me a message in the comments below and let me know if you like the idea of like almost like a little observatory. I don't know what to call it, where you just stop and say, oh, look at this garden. Anyway, that's my thought. And you can see these are topiaries. And since I absolutely love teddy bears, I had to get teddy bear topiaries. I did not make these, but they were made by somebody named Wilhelmina Miniatures, and just absolutely love them. So they're gonna go on the outside along with these really cute little urns. Since those urns are gonna have the white roses, I could put shorter white roses right here. It's possible. Anyway, that's the overall idea. Just let me know what you think about this observatory section and about the static grass on the outside. And now let's get going and making our rose trees. Okay, so they come 2 packs per plastic bag. And I don't know exactly what they're made of. They might be made out of some kind of paper, but I really like them. I think they're very pretty. I feel like they need a little more color, so they're gonna be, this is about the right height. This is not how it's gonna look. I'm gonna make a stem for it, but I like that it stands up like that. What I wanna do right now is I wanna take some paint and I wanna add, it's gonna be sort of a combo of this color and this color, mostly this color. And I'm just gonna add it to the very centers of all of these flowers, just to give them a little more dimension and to tie the colors together. Okay, so the 2 colors I'm using are the same ones I used in the last one, the Deco Art Cranberry Wine and the Folk Art Baby Pink. Gonna add some water to my brush, and then I'm gonna just dip it in the light pink, add a teensy touch of the darker pink. When I get it the color that I want, then I'm just going to dab it right into the center of each one of these roses. These petals are really tight together. Okay, so here's what I ended up with. I did these to match each other down here with a little bit more color on each one of the petals. So they sort of match each other there. And then the ones in the back have a much more subtle, lighter color to them. So you can see the difference there. There's just the tiniest little hint of color in those, whereas these might be a slightly different variety and they're shorter and they're gonna stay down here. So at any rate, I really love how those are looking, and now I have to build the stems. I'm gonna take 2 of these and I'm gonna fold them into thirds. So it looks kind of like that. And then I'm gonna twist from the bottom. Cut these open. Okay, so now we have that kind of a look. And we're gonna take these 2 and we're gonna keep twisting. Like that. So now it looks kind of like that. And then we're going to take these 2 over here and we're going to twist those 2 together. This is making the little side shoots. And now it looks kind of like this. Okay. And now I'm going to measure this into my project. Fold that under like that. It will be cut off. I want it to be the 3rd brick down. So 1, 2, 3 here. So I want it to be about this tall. So I'm just going to clip it. I'm going to clip it to about there. See what that looks like. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I like that. That looks really good. So now I'm going to go back and do the same exact thing on the other side. And now we have them in place, and it looks like winter to me, where all the leaves have fallen off. But it's not looking bad. It's looking okay. Kind of fun. I like it. Okay, now that I've got the right height and thickness, I'm just going to put glue all over this, and then I'm going to put little teeny pieces of the napkin. And then I'm going to let that dry thoroughly. Okay, we got one done. And that's what it looks like. And now we're going to go on to the other one. And now I'm just going to let them dry. Here's what it looks like after having dried overnight. So now I'm just going to paint it with a little bit of brown paint. And here they are all painted up. First coat. They're looking a little gnarly. It's kind of fun. So what I did was I wired on the roses just to see an overall idea of where they're going to land on the tree. And now I'm going to try it into place. And there it is in place. I love how it's filling that corner out. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cut all the wires, wire it on, add more of the glue, etc., etc. And then we will glue on the flowers and add some leaves. I'm just going to wire these on. These are all wired on now. I'm going to go back over them with the tissue paper or napkin and glue. And then the ends will have just the flowers will be glued on. The great thing about this is you can keep adding on. See, I've added these onto here. I originally had just the dark wire and now I've got the roses. I've actually just used the wire that they came on. And I'm just going to add those on and it will all blend in as part of the rose plant. It's very easy to add on to. I'm just going to do the same basic procedure that I was doing before and try not to get the glue and stuff onto the roses. And now the transition is seamless. Here they are in place, trying them out, and I haven't put all the roses on yet, but I just wanted to see how the ones that I wired on are looking and how it looks where they're approximately going to go. And so far, I am really, really happy with it. And now I'm just going to paint the areas I just fixed. Okay, so here they are all painted up, and now I'm just going to let them dry completely and we will add the next layer. Okay, so this is what I'm starting out with. It is called Citadel Agrellan Badland. It's available on Amazon. I don't know where else it's available, but that's what we're using right now. And what it does is it gives this amazing texture. It makes everything come alive. It transforms your stems from looking like stems to really, really looking like a tree. And I know this isn't a real tree, it's a rose tree, but it still has the same kind of barky kind of texture to it, which I absolutely love. I love this product. And then while this is wet, we're going to put a Crackle medium over it. I will put all the information in the description box below as to what products I'm using, but oh my goodness, it's a game changer. It's got like, I don't know, some sort of gritty stuff in it. So even that wire that looked still like wire, even now it doesn't look like wire anymore. I'm telling you, game changer. So now we're done with that part of it. And now we're going to put on the Crackle medium. And I'm just going to put it on very, very lightly because I don't really want a whole lot of crackling going on. Whole lot of crackling going on. Very thin coat on here. You can put it on thicker if you really want it to look gnarled and crackling and things like that. But I don't really want that look here. I just want it to look like an old rose tree that's been there for decades. It's still performing its head off. In just a few moments, we're going to see the crackling start to take effect. So you can see it in here. Oops. You see that? Oh, can you see that right in here? These little striations. Okay, now I'm going to just dry brush a light tan color over the top so we can see those crackles. Here's with it with the light color brushed on, and here it is without the light color brushed on. So you can see so much more of the detail with that on there. Looks gnarlier. Okay. And here we are. I think that looks really realistic. I have to glue on the remaining flowers, so that's what I'm going to do next. So now I'm just going to take my other flowers and I'm going to glue them onto the ends. So I'm going to put just a tiny drop of glue right here at the end. Now I'm going to put this right here at the end, like so. I've used this before in my last video, and I just love this stuff. It's actually air dry clay. It's made by Crayola. It's for little kids, but it's perfect because it comes in different colors. And so it's brown, it looks like dirt, and it's very inexpensive. So we're just gonna put this right in here. And then once we get it to the right level, we're gonna put a, let's see, I am going to be putting in some coffee grounds to look like dirt later on. I'm just going to take a skewer because it's approximately the right size, and I'm just going to put it right into the center and make myself a nice hole in the center going all the way down to the bottom. And then I'm going to take my rose tree, just stick it right in there. That's going all the way to the bottom. Now, I can adjust everything here. So everything right now is sort of leaning really forward, which is what I kind of want. But I do want to pull some of these branches back a little bit so that it's not quite so scary looking. Oh, it kind of looks like the trees are trying to come after me. If you haven't seen this modeling clay, I went into Michael's, and I had said, I'm looking for modeling clay, but I don't want expensive modeling clay. And the young man who was at the checkout counter, he said, oh, I use this Model Magic. I used to use it as a kid. Oh, it's great stuff. I never even heard of it. So it's really wonderful because it is air dry clay. It's just what we need, and it comes in colors, and it's cheap. I love that. Inexpensive, I should say, not cheap. All right. So I had, before I even put that in there, I'll show you this. I had painted all of it, but then I had taped it off so that this was approximately how much I wanted to be in the dirt. And if you see, it's almost perfect. So I'm really happy I got all the other stuff done. It's all the way up and around it, so it looks like it's supporting it, which it is. Making sure that the center lines up with the center of that. And then we're gonna just tilt these back just a little bit. Less scary, less coming after you looking trees. And we can always make an adjustment afterwards once it's in there as well. I want to see what it looks like with the leaves. Okay, that's what they look like in place with the Model Magic holding them in. Use the other end of the skewer and just put a hole right in the center. And again, it's going to look different and better with the leaves on it. And here's what it's looking like so far. Leaves will be going on later today. Okay, so this is what the paper looks like after I have just painted it with the foliage color. I'm gonna set this aside to dry, and when it's fully dried, I have several punches I'm gonna try out and see which one I like best for the leaves for the rose trees. Okay, I'm gonna try out a couple of punches to do the leaves. That's number 1. Number 3, about the size of the first one. Different shape slightly. Number 4, I don't know about that one either. Here is another one I have. This is a bigger one. That's maybe too big. So here is a photo of one of my rose bushes. And as you can see, the way that the stem comes up, the leaves then come off in sets. Now they come off in sets of 3, or they come off in bigger sets as well. And I thought none of these punches that I've been trying out are gonna work. So I went back and I looked through my drawer again, and look what I found. I found this Punch Bunch punch, which I think is going to be perfect. So now I'm just gonna punch a whole bunch of these. And since they're multiples on one punch, it's a lot fewer punches, which makes me really happy. Yeah, look at that. That's gonna be perfect. I punched a few, and I just wanna go in and shape these. So I'm just gonna kind of use, this is a needle tool, and I'm just going to sort of press down. This is a styrofoam, just a tiny piece of styrofoam. This one didn't punch perfectly, but that's actually kind of good because it looks like maybe a bug got to it or something. It happens in every single garden. Just as a little side note, I happened to flip my paper over just so I could see the back of the punch. It's easier to see this side of the punch. And when you do that, you have to remember that the curve is going to be different, which is actually great because now I have one on one side going this way and one on the other side going that way. So that's just a little aside. Okay, I'm going to try gluing one on just to see what happens. I'm just going to sort of go on the back. All right, let's put another one on. Oh, I kind of like that. I think that looks really pretty. All right, I'm going to keep going. So these two are completely done. These two are completely done. I added a few pieces to the back because this way, when they're in place, they don't look so curved forward. They don't look like they're coming after you. And here's the other one. I love how these came out. And I love that they're not exactly the same because they wouldn't be in nature. So let's put them in place and see how they look. Okay, this is the finished product for this week. I did these urns down here. They're completely done. I may come back and add some coloration to the leaves in a future video. The 2 trees in the back are completely done. I have a lot more to go in this room box. So please make sure that you like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.